Week 16 of the NHL season is in the books. We got heavyweight fights going on every other night. The face of the NHL got suspended, guys are literally choking each other out, and we had a massive three-way trade involving a bona fide superstar that undoubtedly changes the landscape of the league. Week 16 was absolutely nuts. So let's dive into what really happened during this week of the NHL season. Sunday, Montreal Madness. Let's kick it off with the Sens versus Devils. My God, have the Devils looked brutal lately, and riding a 3-game losing streak, they come out firing by outshooting the Sens 16-2 in the first period. Call these guys Nemo because there's no fin in their game, and the Sens hold on to a 2-1 lead with Forsberg holding down the fort to hand the Devils their 4th straight loss. Afterwards, Chief Keefe calls out his top players saying that they need to be better. Ottawa gets one win closer to escaping the Bermuda Triangle of Mid, and Detroit looks to stay right there. No McClellan magic tonight as Ottinger and the boys stifled Detroit to win 4-1. Then, Habs versus Rangers. The Bell Center is electric, and we got a heavyweight tilt between Matt Rempe and Arbor Jacki. My goodness, what a scrap. Gotta go with Wi-Fi as the winner there since he lands the takedown. Is he the heavyweight champ right now? I don't know. I'm not sure. Could be Olivier in Columbus. That guy absolutely destroys people. Either way, the hate is there. You still got Habs fans booing Chris Kreider for taking out Carey Price 10 years ago. The game is back and forth all the way through. Slavkovsky ties it late in the third, and then Patrick Laine says, let's go home. He tips it past Jonathan Quick, and the Montreal Madness continues with a massive win over the Rangers to end Sunday. Monday, parade planning. The prophecy of a 2025 Stanley Cup winning Sharks team is fading, but it isn't impossible. A 3-2 lead against the Bruins, things are looking nice, and they proceed to give up 4 straight goals to Boston in the third. Should have seen that one coming as Boston desperately needs that win as they've only won twice in their past 10. Then, the dog in Colorado gets off his leash and rips one home against the Wild, but the Wild are built with balls. No Spurgeon or Kaprizov in this one, and they shut down the Avs to just 1 goal for the win. Gutsy effort from Minnesota. Then, we also get lucky with an early toilet bowl game between Seattle and Buffalo. I can't believe someone actually gets 2 points in this game, but the Kraken are the team to do it while Buffalo continues to slide into the depths of the basement. Sliding in a different way is Vegas. They got St. Louis, who's in a dogfight for that last spot in the West, and they got Vegas on the ropes up 2 with 5 minutes left. So Vegas puts it on red, pulls the tendy, and scores twice with 29 seconds left to tie the game. So we got OT, Jack Eichel on a platter, 2-on-1 for the game winner, and he misses a wide open net. That's a Mark Andrews special, and he is just devastated on the bench afterwards. To rub salt in the wound, St. Louis avoids the choke and wins in a shootout. Then, over on the island, Barzal gets apparently caught by bad lip readers saying how embarrassing it is that the Coliseum is empty. Lou is fuming seeing that, but he takes a deep breath after seeing Bo Horvat put up 2 to beat a red-hot Columbus team. Meanwhile, the Leafs and Lightning are getting after it on Amazon Prime. Matty Nyes is a Tampa Bay assassin. He gets another 3-point night, and you got Austin Matthews trying the Michigan. There you go. The skill guys are flying, feeling good. All is well in Leafland as they beat Tampa to keep the parade plans alive. In Chicago, it's the return of Mr. Anderson for Carolina. He looked decent in his return, but Aho helps the Bedard's pursuit for the basement with the OT winner. How nice of him to contribute. Then the Penguins are in Carolina, where it was reported that GM Kyle Dubas was ready for a fire sale of the team. Dubas has made some questionable moves that has undoubtedly made him the #1 contributor to the #SaveSid movement. It is looking bleak in Pittsburgh, and he's a big reason why. Sid, though, he ain't having none of it. He tips one home, and the Penguins win big over the Kings 5-1. Finally, the Jets are in Mormon territory, and Utah still legally can't get their team name. Logan Cooley is sick of having no identity, so he no-look and plays peekaboo to go top shelf as Utah rolls over Winnipeg to end Monday. Tuesday, superstar drama. The Atlantic Division is a wild mess, and the Habs are right in the thick of it. Canadiens versus the Lightning, and shocker, Nikita Kucherov smoking a pancake, never even looks like he's breaking a sweat out there as he buries to extend his point streak to 10 games. Tampa up by 2 look a little bit comfortable, but the Habs have heart. The kids battle back, and Jake Evans blows the roof off of the Bell Center with a late go-ahead goal. The Habs win their second in a row and continue to surprise everyone. What's even more surprising, though, is seeing Matt Rempe go backhand shelf. Turns out the tree has some mitts on him, and this game had a lot of heat. Look at this. Tkachuk runs into Igor. Chaos breaks out. Everyone in MSG holds their breath as Igor is in discomfort. Then this guy just says, "Fuck it, I'm going after Tkachuk," and starts chucking him. It's complete madness at MSG, and I love it. The Rangers are slowly starting to come back to life as they shut out the Sens 5-0 and are right back in the mix. What about Detroit? Well, they're just still so painfully mid. Rasmus Ristolainen gets the OT winner for Philly, and Detroit loses their third straight as the McClellan magic is starting to wear off. It does seem like that magic is starting to find its way over to Nashville as they're heating up, but the prophecy is too damn strong. Celebrini snipes one to start the game, and the Sharks rally to go up 5-1 at the start of the second. This one is over. That's what the prophecy of the 2025 future Cup champs would tell you, but the Preds score twice before the end of the second. Then they throw on a little U2 in the dressing room, and they storm all the way back to beat the Sharks 7-5. I hate to say it, but I think the prophecy may just be a crock of shit. Then the Hurricanes kept the ball rolling by keeping the Stars to 1 goal and having Jesper Kotkaniemi double dip the chip for the win. All while the Panthers get lucky enough to play the Ducks for their scheduled 2 points. Of course, the biggest news of Tuesday was that the NHL decided to suspend both Tyler Myers and Connor McDavid 3 games for their cross-checks. The entire league seemed to disagree with this decision and length, and honestly, I agree. Maybe 1 or 2 games, but what a complete fumble from the league to have both of these players suspended when they're scheduled to meet just a few games from now. Either way, both teams are in action, and the Canucks specifically continue to disappoint. UPL comes up with a massive save for Buffalo at the end of the game, and the Canucks drop 2 gimme points against a team that they should beat every day of the week. The Oilers had a tougher challenge going up against Ovi and the first place Caps. And look at this. Perry blasts one home, and there's a plate of nachos on the ice. Logan Thompson points at the nachos and looks at the ref and says, "How do you expect me to stop pucks when there's chips on the ice?" But more importantly, who throws $40 nachos on the ice? And despite all the distractions, the Caps held off Edmonton and win to stay on top of the NHL to end Tuesday. Wednesday, parades canceled. Of course, it's only fitting for the Toronto Maple Leafs to bring their fans back down to reality just halfway through the week. The Blue Jackets are humming right now, but we get another heavyweight tilt between Reeves and Olivier. Had to be the fight of the year between these two. I think the heavyweight champ has got to be Olivier right now. Could be Jacky. I don't know. Comment down below. The Leafs were all out of sorts in this one. You got Merzlikins stealing Matthew's stick, so he steals the goalie stick and gets a penalty. Adam Fantilli, the Ontario boy, scores on the power play and then gets a hat trick. Death, taxes, and players from Toronto torching the Leafs. Afterwards, Austin Matthews said he would have liked to see more energy from the crowd after the fight. Now, it could be dead quiet in there because tickets are $200 a pop, but it could also be because the Suits and the Yacht Club in the lower bowl will file a noise complaint if you raise your voice. So, next time I'm going to the game, I'm bringing my parade hat and whistle and doing it myself. But I'll tell you right now, there's absolutely no way in hell I'm doing it without getting a great deal, and the best way to do that for any live event is through SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best app for finding deals on tickets by rating them on a scale of 1 to 10 so you know if you're getting a good deal. If it's red, no bueno. If it's green, that is a banger. You should snatch up those tickets. SeatGeek is hooking us up with 15% off whether you're a new customer or not. If you want to join in on the fun live with your favorite team, get the app, open your phone, and type hockey15 in your code, and you'll get 15% off your next tickets. If you want the best seats in the house while scoring a great deal, click the link in our bio and use the code to get in on the action this season. Now, two teams riding the struggle bus lately are Boston and New Jersey. Keefe did call out his top players, but Dawson Mercer responds the loudest with 2 goals in this one. The Devils win big 5-1, but really they lose because their goalie Jacob Markstrom got hurt, and it's reported that he's going to miss some time. Then we go out west where the Jets meet their kryptonite in the Avs. Cale Makar is scoring while falling down. The Dog is the first player to 75 points this season, but the Jets could care less. Neil Pionk wants to get the post-game beers going, so he steps in and wires one 17 seconds into OT to say, "Let's go home." That left the Panthers and the Kings. Spencer the Dark Knight was in net for Florida and played lights out along with Darcy Kemper. Kemper tried to start some beef with AJ Greer as well, but the league's forgotten weapon in Adrian Kempe gets the game winner, and the Kings keep living up to the name of the Silent Killers to end Wednesday night. Thursday, rematch. It is a circus in the East, and nothing would be more fitting than an Undertaker-esque rise from the dead by the New York Rangers. I thought Peter Laviolette was as good as gone, but they look like their old selves lately. In this one, it was scoring all the way down the lineup for the Rangers, but more importantly, Igor is back. 33 saves, 1 goal against. He's 6-0-1 since coming back from injury with a .948 save percentage and 2 shutouts. The Rangers now sit only 1 point back of the final wildcard spot. Two teams paying attention to that is Boston and Ottawa. We're going full-on WWE here as Marchand takes off his glove and grabs Cousins by the neck, looking like he's going to deliver a prime chokeslam. The main concern for Ottawa, though, isn't Nick Cousins' neck, but it's their complete lack of finish as of late. Boston hands in their second shutout loss in a row. Brady Tkachuk has gone 9 games without a point, and they've been shut out in 5 of their last 11. That is putting on a clinic when it comes to staying in the Bermuda Triangle of Mid. In the Triangle, Detroit did their job by beating Montreal, at least to keep up with the rodeo that is the Eastern Conference. The other rodeo was between the Canes and Jackets. This one was a barn burner. Defense, goaltending, none of it great, a coach's nightmare, and a fan's wet dream. The Canes score 5 straight. Columbus responds with a pair of their own to make it interesting, but Carolina takes the cookie night 7-4, and Mr. Anderson has his 300th win in the NHL. They are hot, and so is Utah. The Wild get back both Spurgeon and Kaprizov, but Utah doesn't even flinch, putting up a 4-0 shutout. Then we had the rematch between Vegas and St. Louis, where Mark Stone comes out of the gate, steals the puck, and sets the tone 19 seconds in. Best thief in the league. He's a part of the Sticky Bandits, not only because he looks like Marv from Home Alone, but simply because they're into puck he can't steal. Vegas takes care of business to end their slump and get revenge for the other night. Calgary is loving watching the Blues lose, and they get even luckier playing Buffalo. Kadri, Huberdeau, 3 points each. Dustin Wolf, the Wolfpack, another 32 save performance as Calgary picks up a crucial 2 points. Then we get into the weeds with the toilet bowls. Ducks, Penguins, 5-1 beating from Anaheim. For the love of God, please save Sid. And the toilet bowl match between the Sharks and Preds the other night was so good that we needed a round 2. This time, the Preds go up 5-2, and Sharks hit the Uno reverse card to come all the way back. The Prophecy has a momentary return and then gets flushed down the toilet as the Preds score to stop the bleeding. Nashville has now subtly won 5 games in a row. The trilogy of rematches ended with the Oilers and the Canucks. No McDavid, no Myers, basically a wash, but the Leon Draisaitl show was out early. A goal, 2 assists right out of the gate. Edmonton ran Vancouver's show in this one. They go right after Connor Garland to send a message after the whistle. Corey Perry DDTs Quinn Hughes to double down on that message, and then him and JT Miller have a chat at the end of the period. Didn't expect to see JT Miller asking for a trade to Edmonton mid-game, but here we are. On a serious note, Miller shows some fire, but the rest of Vancouver gets bulldozed as Edmonton wins 6-2. Then to end the night, the NHL's leading Washington Capitals put the clamps on Seattle and have Ovechkin seal it with another empty net snipe. The Grade 8 is now 20 goals back of beating Wayne Gretzky's record, all while the Caps sit comfy at the top of the NHL. Friday, blockbuster deal. It was supposed to be just another Friday in the NHL. There were 4 games on tonight, but the entire hockey world stopped when it was announced that Mikko Rantanen got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes in a massive 3-way deal. The full trade details will be on screen, but first thoughts are, my God, did the Hurricanes hit a home run bringing in both Rantanen and Taylor Hall. They've needed a bona fide superstar for years, and they finally get it with Mikko Rantanen. Now, if you're confused as to why the Avs would deal Rantanen, it's because he's a free agent at the end of the season, and he wanted Leon Draisaitl. And once it became obvious that the Avs weren't going to give Rantanen the dollars that he wanted, there was a possibility that a trade would be made, but I don't think anyone saw this one coming. The Avs get back the real Slim Shady and Marty Necas and Jack Drury. Now, to be honest, the Avs were never winning this trade. Rantanen is a bona fide superstar, but time will tell how each player adapts to the systems and how they fit in a new environment. The true loser in all this, though, is Chicago. They gave away Taylor Hall for a third and maybe a bag of Pringles. What a gigantic L for them, and they kept it coming with another loss to the Lightning in OT. Cooch in that rocking chair scores the winner and another casual 3-point night while he continues his 11-game point streak. Overshadowed by all the news, though, is Lou Lamoriello signing Tony DeAngelo to begin the early forming of the Soprano hockey team. However, they pick up their third straight win against Philly. Then, we got a rematch of the first round of the playoffs last year between Vegas and Dallas. Jason Robertson snubbed from Team USA at the Four Nations tournament, and he's given the double bird with 2 goals while being red hot as of late. But then it's the Otter who steals the show. Dying seconds, Jake Ottinger sprawls out to make the Glovely save. Dallas holds on to win 4-3, and they're starting to look like the team that they were last season. However, they're still chasing the Jets for the first in the Central, who are looking to bounce back against Utah after getting chewed out by their coach following their last matchup against the no-name brand. So they come out swinging. Cole Perfetti popped the confetti. That's his first career hat trick, and the Jets smack around the no-name brands to end an unexpectedly wild Friday night in the NHL. Saturday, hockey night. Right after the blockbuster deal, Marty Necas and Jack Drury jump right into the mix for the Avs against Boston. Necas filling in that gigantic hole on the right wing that Rantanen leaves, and he's got a tough one. -3 on the night, McKinnon held off the score sheet as well, and the Avs take the L. Afterwards, listening to McKinnon and Bednar speak, it was just flat out depressing. McKinnon thought that Rantanen wouldn't leave in a million years and was completely shocked by the trade. Now, we'll do a breakdown of all this once we see how everyone settles into their system, but man, the Avs seemed dejected from the entire situation. Of course, with all that going on, there were rumblings that the #SaveSid movement was actually going to happen, but that is just wishful thinking, as insiders reported that there ain't no chance. Either way, the Penguins go toe-to-toe with the Kraken where, shocker, they would get smoked. And Sidney Crosby is the lone goal scorer. Miserable times in Pittsburgh, but still nowhere near the misery in Buffalo. 13-game losing streak. Every player they trade away turns into a star, and then they let Jeff Skinner get revenge for all those years in Buffalo. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scores twice, Stuart Skinner has a hell of a game, and the Oilers win with McDavid being mixed suspended. Let's take a look over in Minnesota where the boys are in a Royal Rumble. Watch Rasmus Andersson in this scrum right here. He gives Marc-Andre Fleury a stiff left jab to make him quickly the most hated man in Minnesota. That's going to make Matt Zuccarello pissed off and hits him with a takedown. Then, minutes later, after that's all sorted out, Anderson rips a clapper on the power play and gives an all-time stare down, fully embracing public enemy number 1. Side note, the Wild's PK has been awful, 3rd worst in the league. Calgary goes 2 for 3 on the night. Dustin Wolf again with a Wolfpack performance as the Flames win their 3rd in a row over Mini. Meanwhile, it's the Battle of Ontario and Ottawa, which means it's a Leaf home game basically, but it doesn't matter. Ottawa's fighting for the playoff lives, so they put it on the Pinto parlay. He gets maybe the bounce of the year off of 14 different things and into the back of the net to break the tie, and despite their scoring struggles, that win has them 1 point out of the wild card spot. Then you have the Habs, just constantly finding ways to surprise everyone. They're down 3-1 to Jersey. They come back to force OT, however, it's Jack Hughes. Everyone pays to watch him play, and he calls game to hand the Habs the L. That outcome is important for both Detroit and Tampa, as they're right in that mess of all those teams, and Cam Talbot puts on a clinic. Kucherov, 11-game point streak is now over, and Detroit shuts out the highest scoring team in the NHL. Dallas Stars come on down and do the same. Casey DeSmith, 33 save masterclass, and he gets a little saving grace from the post in the process. The Stars have now won 3 of their last 4. Then it's the bargain of the year in Columbus, throwing on the twinkle toes in OT. Kirill Marchenko takes Kevin Fiala to school, walks him like a dog, and then buries. Columbus picks up the 2 points and just adds on to that entire mess in the East. Meanwhile, Mikko Rantanen and Taylor Hall are making their debuts against the New York Islanders. Rantanen in a Canes jersey just doesn't look right, and it doesn't feel right either. Goose eggs on the board for him, while Lou's Islanders are starting to get a little mojo going. Dwayne the Brock Nelson gives the Owls the win in OT, and now they've won 4 in a row. Lou keeps calling me after every win to rub it in my face, but I'm just putting him straight to voicemail. I'm in no talking mood, especially because I think I've come to terms that this prophecy is just a hoax. Florida takes full-blown offense to the Sharks being prophesized as the future 2025 Cup champs and lays a beating. Touchdown and extra point as the Panthers win 7-2. However, we still got our toilet bowl on Saturday, goddammit. Yeah, the Preds have won 5 in a row, but that doesn't change a thing. The 2-time toilet bowl runner-ups in the Ducks don't lose these types of games. McTavish scores twice, and Zegras returns from injury to put up 2 points to win the toilet bowl. Finally, it's the Caps versus the Canucks. Now, at this point, it just feels like the Canucks cannot experience growth or success as a team until this whole Miller and Pettersson saga gets sorted out. And with Rantanen being dealt, the noise is going to keep getting louder and louder. That being said, Quinn Hughes had a baller of a performance as a captain. Just cooking on the blue line all night, goes backhand Billy for the first goal, and then scores again with a cheeky wrister that has eyes. Then, with 2 minutes left, the Canucks up by 1. Caps get caught with their pants down trying to pull Lindgren, but he does a Superman dive for the glove save. Looking like your drunk uncle putting on a clinic as the road hockey goalie, he makes a tremendous save, but all that was for naught, as the Canucks give a ballsy effort to pick up the 2 points. They now sit just 3 points behind Calgary for the last spot in the East, and if they can figure out all this drama, they got a chance to sneak in. So, what did you think of Week 16? Who surprised you? Who pissed you off? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to check out any of our breakdowns from this past week, click on any of the videos right here and subscribe to the channel for more weekly recaps and player and team breakdowns.